Well, guys, here we are again. CNN's doubling down. I came across this video on YouTube and titled Governor Pritzker issues a stark warning about Trump and authoritarianism. I don't understand when they'll learn that most Americans aren't believing half of what they say, most of what they say about Donald Trump. They despise Trump. And you cannot, I don't see how people can, the only way, I can see because there are other people that despise Trump. So this CNN is just for them. But normal people that have an open mind, I'm not a Republican, I'm a conservative, but I don't believe that one person can be a 100% a Republican or 100% a Democrat. And that's why they have, center right, center left, and so on. I'm a conservative. I'm a dad. I'm an American. And I have a brain. And I have fingers to type and look up my own information. And most people are just too lazy. They want to flip on the TV and watch their favorite mainstream news and just believe everything they hear. But it's dangerous. It's dangerous when you put out stuff like this because some people take it serious. So anyways, take a look at this this video clip here by CNN and just, comment. Let me know what you think. This is my first YouTube video, by the way. I would love for you to subscribe. You may be the first subscriber. But anyways, we're going to give it a shot. So check this out.
In our politics lead, Democratic Governor J.B. Pritzker of Illinois delivered a stark warning to the citizens of Illinois about the perils of authoritarianism in America.
We don't have kings in America.
See, and it's funny, at first, when I was kind of learning about the YouTube, you got all these, keywords and these catchwords and things. And, you think that this is just a title for YouTube. Well, no, this was a title for their actual show. Illinois Governor Pritzker warns against authoritarianism. And, he just said, issues a stark warning. It's like, give it up, guys. Sorry.
And I don't intend to bend the knee to one. If you think I'm overreacting and sounding the alarm too soon, consider this. It took the Nazis 1 month, 3 weeks, 2 days, 8 hours, and 40 minutes to dismantle a constitutional republic.
Well, it looks like we're out of the woods because Donald Trump's been in office for, I know, longer than that. So I think we're okay. I don't see any concentration camps or, anything like that, or haven't heard about it. I'm sure CNN would definitely report on that. It's ridiculous.
And all I'm saying is that when the 5-alarm fire starts to burn, every good person better be ready to man a post with a bucket of water if you want to stop it from raging out of control. The seed that grew into a dictatorship in Europe a lifetime ago didn't arrive overnight. It started with everyday Germans mad about inflation and looking for someone to blame. I'm watching with a foreboding dread what is happening in our country right now.
Nice word, bud.
A president who watches a plane go down in the Potomac and suggests without facts or findings that a diversity hire is responsible for the crash.
And I'm gonna try not to pause. It's very hard when you hear an idiot like this speaking in this manner. I mean, this guy's a governor, for God's sakes. So, yes, Trump did say that, but he did not say that was the main cause of it. He says that DEI does not help, and it probably didn't. DEI does not help. DEI is not what we need in America. We need people to be hired based on merit, like it's always been. I grew up being taught you have got to work harder than the next person. Life is it's a big competition. You're always competing. You're always, like my job in sales. I'm in lumber sales. So, I'm always trying to sell more than the next person. I'm trying to sell more than the month before. And that's what gives us that drive, inside. And when we do, and when we make those sales, it just feels so damn good. I mean, how would you feel if you got hired simply because your color or your race? To me, that's an insult. To me, it's not because I was the best at the job. It's just because of who I was upon birth. And it's just, I don't see why people don't see that. You got to work your butt off to get anywhere in life. And that makes you a better person, makes you a better father. It makes me a better leader for my family.
And Governor J.B. Pritzker is with me for his first interview since delivering that address. Governor, a very stark warning that you're delivering there. Obviously invoking the Holocaust, obviously invoking, a horrible, horrible thing that.
And even he, him by looking off like that, he knows he knows it. He knows it's stupid. I don't even see why they had this guy on after this State of the State address.
Took the lives of ancestors of yours and ancestors of mine is evocative.
Who's taking lives?
I would also think it might be controversial. People might think, how can you possibly compare what happened in Germany in World War II to what's going on here in the United States?
Well, we're talking about the death of a constitutional republic. That's what happened in Germany in 1933, 1934. And we're seeing today that you've got an administration in Washington that's ignoring court orders, literally ignoring when a judge says you can't do this. They're going ahead and doing it anyway.
Okay,
the question is,
we'll stop this right here. And I'm going to try not to keep, pausing, but, I'm going to try to kind of debunk a little bit of what he's saying. So, yeah, okay, so maybe a judge said something, or, ordered something. But, our vice president, he tweeted something here a while back, and it was kind of a good tweet. So, here's J.D. Vance. So, if a judge tried to tell a general how to conduct a military operation, that would be illegal. If a judge tried to command the attorney general and how to use her discretion as a prosecutor, that's also illegal. Judges aren't allowed to control the executive's legitimate power. So, our president, we voted for our president, and we gave him a mandate to do everything that he campaigned on. So, we've got to trust that he's going to do the right thing. And we can't just right away say, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. Let him work, man. And then, if later on, if something, if it doesn't work, I mean, then we can kind of start, hey, checking him a little bit. But Jesus, he's just started.
That stop, the courts don't have the ability to enforce their orders, and the president is supposed to obey them, but is not. So
no, he's not.
This is just one piece of a very long story that's developed over the last 6 weeks of the ignorance of constitutional norms and indeed disobeying the Constitution, announcing that we're going to do away with birthright citizenship. That's been established. Well, it's in the Constitution, for goodness sakes. So I really think people need to wake up to what's happening in Washington.
I'm awake,
I
buddy.
felt like, based on my own experience,
I'm awake.
I
I'm not
led
woke.
the building of a Holocaust museum. I worked with Holocaust survivors for a decade to open that museum. I know what happened day by day almost that led to the Holocaust. And I'm not suggesting that's exactly where we're going, but I know
Then
what
what are you
happened
suggesting?
in the early 30s with the death of the German democracy, and that could happen in the United States.
And what do you think would result? I mean, obviously, it is important for us to be upholding norms, and obviously, if the president is told by a court, you can't do that or whatever, he has the right to appeal it, but he doesn't have the right to ignore it. Where do you think this ends?
Well, that is the question. The question is, will people wake up? Will people show up to protest, to make sure that their representatives understand that they can't go along with this? This is literally the end of the republic as we know it.
Yeah.
If we don't stand up to Donald Trump in his, decision to essentially break down the government according to what he wants and according to what he believes is in the best interests of the wealthiest and most powerful people in the country. We need people to get out there and have their views known. And that's really what I was talking about when I spoke up at my State of the State speech.
So today you're pressing the Office of Management and Budget for answers on frozen funds that were allocated to Illinois that you say you're no longer able to access them. What exactly is frozen here, and how is it impacting Illinois?
Well, it goes across a whole bunch of agencies. This is what's happened ever since that one day, as you recall, that Tuesday, when everything got frozen.
And when they froze the grants, right? Yeah.
But I mean, it's across the board in agencies that, people don't even think of sometimes. And what's happened is
people don't think of them because they're probably not that important. And even he kind of pressed them, Tapper just pressed him a little bit, about, it was that one grant or whatever. And then he's like, oh yeah, well, it's over across a bunch of different agencies. Well,
of them haven't been unfrozen, even though they announced that, oh no, they're rescinding that order. We had a situation in Illinois where the meat processing and poultry processing industry couldn't get inspectors because they're not getting paid. And so that's a huge industry in my state.
Sure.
So people lose their jobs. The supply chain for that food gets broken, and we all have experienced that. Prices go up as a result of that. And then, there's the danger of contamination in the food if you don't have those inspectors. These are the kinds of things that, people like Elon Musk don't understand. And frankly, it doesn't seem to affect them. I'm sure he's probably got a taster for his food. The fact is that he doesn't care about any of these things that affect average Americans every single day. We've got to speak out about this. The biggest thing that we're seeing is that in agency after agency, there's some piece of it that either, it's either because they're incompetent or cruel. They're just turning things off, and we have no control over it at the state level. And so we're making sure that the author of the Project 2025 plan, who is now the head of the OMB, knows what we have lost. $1.8 billion has not been paid to organizations in Illinois that people rely upon sometimes for everyday things. And this is happening in all 50 states, I guarantee you. We just happen to have added it all up.
So what do you say the answer from Elon Musk would be? Like, there's a lot of fraud, there's a lot of waste, there's a lot of abuse, there are people being paid who aren't even showing up to work. We're getting rid of the fat, we're getting rid of low performance employees. What's your problem with that?
Look, we're all in favor of getting waste, fraud, and abuse out of the budget, right? And not paying for waste, fraud, and abuse. But this isn't how you do it. Shutting down programs entirely is not how you do it. In fact, it's very hard to root out waste, fraud, and abuse. You got to work on it every single day, and it's in the details. It's not in programs where you just shut them down and, hey, I got rid of a bunch of waste. The greatest example of this is, of course, that they want to shut down Medicaid, the expansion of Medicaid.
Nope. And right there, that's untrue. The only Medicaid that they're going to touch there was a lot of people that were getting paid that aren't even alive. There are people that are getting paid that shouldn't be getting paid. So, and this new bill that's about to pass, I'll do a video on that next. But the new bill clearly states all of this. And, just because they say they're going to touch Medicaid, then boom, they're automatically going to say, oh, they're going to cut Medicaid completely. But it's just not true. It's not true.
700,000 people in my state depend upon that.
Yeah, and
right? Something they've been depending upon for many years.
Medicaid,
all of a sudden, 700,000 people may lose their health care. Now, they're saying, oh, well, there's waste, fraud, and abuse in Medicaid. Well, that's not how you get rid of the waste, fraud, and abuse. You don't take away people's health care. You work on it every day.
They haven't.
It's in the details. It's in the, the.
And right there, he should have questioned him. He should have said they haven't, but they're not. They're trying to make Trump look bad. So sickening.
The kinds of things that get spent in the agencies, in the departments, within the offices, within a department. It isn't like shut the whole thing down and, hey, we've done away with. There's no line in a budget, by the way, that says waste, fraud, and abuse. Let's cross that out.
Right.
Exactly.
All right. Governor J.B. Pritzker, Democrat of Illinois. Thank you
He's
so much for being here.
a contradicting mother efferini. Okay, so that was that, and that's really what I wanted to share. But just really quick, I wanted to see for myself. So I went to the DOGE website, Department of Government Efficiency, and clearly here, wall of receipts right here. So they have listed all of the money. Look at this. They're putting links. They're putting, and this is one that I looked up right here, of one of the ones that I clicked on, and it takes you to the X page for the Department of Government Efficiency. And right here, a former ICE employee and Biden transition team member joined family endeavors in early 2021 and helped secure a sole source of Health and Human Services contract for overflow housing from licensed care facilities. As a result, family endeavors, cash and portfolios of investments grew from $8.3 million in 2020 to $520.4 million in 2023. Since March of 2024, HHS has paid $18 million per month to keep the Pecos facility open despite sitting empty. With national licensed facility occupied now below 20%, HHS was able to terminate this contract, saving taxpayers over $215 million annually. That's amazing to me. That is a lot of money. And that's just one program. So I'm all for it. If people are going to lose their jobs, they're going to lose their jobs. It's just life. So anyways, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll work on a new video here. Like I said, I may do one here next that's going to kind of go a little more in depth. But anyways, just let me know what you think, and I appreciate you guys watching. So you guys take care. Thank you.